sallallahu alayhi wasallam speaks about ثلاثة لا ترد دعوتهم, that there are three categories of people whose dua would not be rejected. As-sa'im, speaking about a fasting person. So they say as-sa'im hina yuftar. So it refers to one who is in this state of fasting. When you say hina yuftir, this refers to at the point of when you break the fast. And there's other hadith of the Prophet ﷺ says hatta yuftir, meaning that until he breaks the fast, which means that it gives him the opportunity throughout the day itself. So it speaks about a fasting itself. So it refers to a fasting person in the state of observing his fast.
My next question is, when you said he answers to everyone, to mankind and jinns, or just mankind?
Yeah, this is also a wonderful question again. Yeah. When he answers to everyone, does he answer to mankind and jinns? Of course, yes, he does. He answers to mankind and jinns. Why? Because the Quran is for mankind and jinns. The Quran is not only for human beings. The Quran has been revealed for تبارك الذي نزل الفرقان على عبده ليكون للعالمين نذيرا. In Surah Al-Furqan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, blessed is him who تبارك الذي نزل الفرقان على عبده ليكون للعالمين نذيرا. That he has revealed the Furqan, the criterion between right and wrong, on his servant على عبده ليكون للعالمين نذيرا, that he may be a warner for all the worlds, including the world of human beings and the world of jinns as well. So Quran is applicable to human beings and applicable to jinns as well. So jinns do have a right to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. In the like manner we follow the Quran, they should be following the Quran as well. Hope that answers the question. Any other questions that we have?
About the dua that has not been answered, I think you mentioned a hadith about that. Okay? About the dua that hasn't been answered in this dunya.
This is asking a question about the dua that has not been answered. There's a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that speaks. It's a wonderful hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it goes on the topic of dua بغير إثم أو قطيعة الرحم. It's a dua that does not have any sin in it, and it does not have the idea of severing relationships, meaning, from your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, that sort of thing. That it entails good. Remember we talk about the hadith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves what is tayyib, and He only accepts that which is tayyib. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, ما من مسلم يدعو الله عز وجل بدعوة وليس فيها إثم ولا قطيعة رحم إلا أعطاه الله بها إحدى ثلاث خصال. That there is no Muslim that makes a dua. ما من مسلم يدعو الله. There is no Muslim that supplicates, calls upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala بدعوة, with a supplication, ليس فيها إثم, in which it does not have any sin, ولا قطيعة رحم, and does not have the idea, meaning the person that wants to sever relationship with people who are very close to him. إلا أعطاه الله بها, except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have given him one of the three things. بإحدى ثلاث خصال. One of the three things that happen. One, إما أن يعجل له دعوته, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds in a way that He gives the person exactly what he has asked for. إما أن يعجل له دعوته, He gives them exactly what he asked for. وإما أن يدخرها له في الآخرة, and if he doesn't have that, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would delay it for the akhirah, that he would get the response of that dua in the akhirah. And in another hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, it says that in the akhirah, when people will be receiving the response of the dua, they would wish that if none of the dua in the world would have been accepted, because the reward here is more. The khayr of the dua in itself is more, meaning more in the akhirah than what you didn't get in the dunya. So when you receive the reward of one dua in the akhirah, you would have wished that if none of the dua would have been accepted in the dunya, so you can get the reward in the akhirah. And the third aspect, وَإِمَّا أَنْ يَصْرِفَ عَنْهُ مِنَ السُّوءِ مِثْلُهَا. And that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He didn't respond to the dua immediately, or didn't keep the reward for you in the akhirah, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have removed a calamity in your way in the likeness of the dua, meaning of the weight of the dua itself. For example, if you have a very short, small dua, it deserves just a little reward, then the calamity will be equivalent to that. Or if you have a massive dua that requires quite a lot, then inshallah, a calamity of that equivalent would be taken away from your way. And this is the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the way that He responds to the dua. So when the Sahaba had heard this, they say, إِذَنْ نُكْثِرْ. He said, should we not then increase in our dua and make plenty dua? Because they were excited now. Because your dua would not be rejected. You would have it the way you wanted. Or secondly, you would have it in the akhirah. Or thirdly, calamities would be taken away from your way that was supposed to be meeting you. So now the Sahaba, they were excited. قَالُوا إِذَنْ نُكْثِرْ. He said, should we not increase now in our dua? قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم Allahu Akbar. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more. So the more dua you make, it doesn't matter. They make more dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more than that. He gives more reward. He's got plenty of rewards. He doesn't run out of rewards. He doesn't run out of ajr. He doesn't get tired. So don't think he gets tired to respond to the dua. Or he's going to run out of rewards or gifts or responses to the dua. No, he doesn't. So the Sahaba, they were all eager and enthusiastic to be involved in the dua. That is why they wanted to be involved more in the dua. Then nukfir, that they wanted to be involved more in the dua. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to develop this attitude, that we can always understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is listening to us. He hears us, He knows what we want, and the more dua we make is more beneficial to us. Is beneficial to us. Pops, not immediately in this world, but definitely in the akhirah. So we have a lot of options, and these things sometimes we don't know, but you might find that life becomes that of an ease when we link ourselves with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we ask of Him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that understanding and increase our iman so that we can increase in our dua and be successful in this world and also the akhirah. Any other questions we have?
Are there any specific times, maybe after certain salah or something, where our dua is answered, not answered, but it's a special time for any recommended times, I should say.
This is asking if any special time when it's more likely for dua to be accepted. Yes, there are many times when we are encouraged to make dua. One of them, I'll just give you a few. One of them is in the latter part of the night. That's one moment when you can make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some hadith speaks about after salawat al-maktubah, after the compulsory salah, you can make dua. There is a special time on Yawmul Jum'ah when you make dua and the dua is accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are also people that are involved when the dua is accepted, like I've given you 3 categories. talking about a fasting person. We talk about al-imam al-adil, a just person. And we talk about da'wat al-mazloom, somebody who's being oppressed because he's got no one to help him. There's other hadith that speaks about, the dua of a walid, the dua of a father, dua of parents. Another hadith that speaks about the dua of a musafir. So these are all.
You have parents for the children.
Yeah.
For their children.
Yes. Yeah. So these are all different times when dua are likely to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and on different occasions as well. Hope that gives you an idea in terms of the dua itself. That in itself, you can do a lecture on that in itself, just on that, the different times when dua is being accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we should not be in a haste when our dua is not accepted. In fact, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, يُسْتَجَابُ لِأَحَدٍ مَا لَمْ يُعَجِّلْ يَقُولُ. He said, each one of you is going to get an answer to your dua, providing you are not in haste. You're not impetuous, meaning that you just don't, as soon as you make a dua, you need to have an answer straight away. Most of us are like that, because mankind has been created in haste. So when you make a dua, you want to see the effect immediately. So the Prophet ﷺ says, يُسْتَجَابُ لِأَحَدِكُمْ مَا لَمْ يَعَجِّلْ يَقُولُ. That your dua for each one of you will be accepted. So long you're not in the state of haste. دَعَوْتَ فَلَمْ يَسْتَجِبْ لِي. Or he says, دَعَوْتُ, meaning that I call. دَعَوْتُ فَلَمْ يَسْتَجِبْ لِي. That I call and I'm not having any response. Some people say that it's like an act of frustration, that I call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but He's not answering me. Is He listening? Can you hear what I'm saying? Because what? You wanted a response immediately. You want Him to do exactly what you're asking for. As if you are dictating your destiny. As if you are dictating what needs to be done. So as soon as you're in need of something, you ask of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you expect to have the answer straight away. With no patience. With no tolerance. So this is something we have to get rid of and have more humility when we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It says in the Quran, "Ud'u rabbakum," that call upon your master. تَضَرُّعًا وَخُفْيَةً. So you call upon Him in humility. تَضَرُّعًا وَخُفْيَةً. And secretly. It's not if you go secretly in the middle of the night asking, He's not going to listen. No. If you whisper, He hears. So you don't have to be shouting and raising your voice very high. No. He still hears and He listens. He knows what you want. But it's about our response when we make a dua. What do we want? Do we want it immediately? Do we want to change the world immediately? No. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَدْعُوا رَبَّكُمْ, that call upon your master. تَضَرُّعًا وَخُفْيَةً, that you call upon your master secretly and with humility. إِنَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُعْتَدِينَ, that indeed He does not love the transgressors. He loves people who are with patience, and people who are muhsinun, and doers of good. Hope that has answered the question. And in the Quran there are many dua. We don't want to get into the sort of many dua made by the Anbiya, by the Prophet, like رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. We have had several dua. If you go enter your home, you have a dua. You go to the toilet, you have a dua. Coming out of the toilet, there is a dua. Leaving your home, there is a dua. If it's rain, there is a dua. There are so many things for which we have dua. So we have to get ourselves involved and hope to receive the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم أجمعين.